So FRM Part 1 2026, there are barely any changes. In just two chapters of quants, there are 5 and 1 LOSs, which has a little change. And that is also not a change per se. Earlier, they were saying that, describe p-value, describe ARMA, etc. approach. Now they are saying describe and calculate. So there is a higher probability of getting a question in terms of numbers, in terms of calculation, in terms of numerical in that area. Other than that, the entire syllabus of 62 chapters is exactly the same. So let's just go through it very quickly. So FRN Part 1 changes for 2026. We'll just show you the summary, the reading wise changes, and for every chapter, the reading, we'll show the LOS wise changes. Two chapters have got 6 LOS changes, and both the chapters belong to the subject quants. Both the readings, both the chapters, they belong to quants. So there is one LOS change in hypothesis testing, one in stationary time series. There is no new chapter, there is no deletion done. There's just barely any change over here. So the syllabus of 2025, 2026 is more or less exactly the same. And of course, I hope you people remember the entire 2026, be it May, August, November, the syllabus does not change. The syllabus changes take place from year to year basis. So if you're looking at, so that was the summary. Here we are looking at the reading wise changes. So the chapter list is given. The chapter number that was there in 2024 and 2025 is also given, and 2026 in case you want to map it. But I think the chapter number of 2025 and 26 are exactly the same since the syllabus is same. As I mentioned, there is one LOS and 5 LOS changed if you see in hypothesis testing and stationary time series chapter in quants. And what are the changes? Everything else is the same. So I'm just scrolling through it. So once you do that, we have the entire LOS wise changes where the entire chapter has been broken up into learning outcome statements that the institute gives. So this is basically the parts of the chapter. So everything is the same except for hypothesis testing. So this is the first book is the same. Second, we are talking about quants. So earlier, if you notice, explain what the p-value of hypothesis test measures. But here it is the same thing, but there is also a calculate in the syllabus now. So there is a higher probability that we can get a question in terms of numericals as well. Although we had done the numericals even earlier, because you can't understand the concept that easily without doing the numbers of it. And then the second chapter, stationary time series. Here a total of 5 LOS had those changes. So if you see again, define and describe the properties of AR, here again there is a calculate word added. Define and describe MA, but here again the word calculate is added. Again, lag operator, how it works, but again the word calculate and apply is added. So again, except just for the describe part, apply the model selection criteria is added. And here, instead of just describe, again, calculated interpret is also been added. So that is all the change that has happened over here. So I think it is pretty easy. And whatever numericals extra we need to know, do, and the concepts and the depth, we'll be taking care of it. The books generally get released by the end of January or the first week of February, normally we see. But I don't think you should be waiting for it because any which ways, your syllabus is exactly the same, barring just a few things. If there's anything extra that is needed, which will be needed in terms of numbers or sums, I shall share the handout with you and after the books are released, and we'll just have to add a little bit of questions over here. Apart from that, your entire syllabus is same. So just relax, study, work hard, and make sure that you've for all the students, you're working very hard, you're taking your exam seriously, and you're learning in depth. Also, just in case you need, there is a syllabus file also provided, which has got the list of subjects, chapters, and the learning outcomes. So basically, these are the 4 subjects you have in level 1 curriculum, the total number of chapters for each subjects, the average learning outcomes. I would see that book 1 has relatively smaller chapters, book 2, 3, and 4 have relatively longer chapters. So these are the subparts, the number of subparts in the chapter, the weightage as per exam, and therefore the total number of questions in the exam from each subject, although the questions are jumbled up. Any which ways, I wanted to just put the syllabus out over here. I've discussed the exam pattern separately, although over here it is very easy. You have 100 MCQs, 100 questions from these 4 chapters, and the weightage is given. So number of question and weightage is exactly the same here. I have given you the syllabus in terms of breaking up it on a chapter-wise basis. So this is the first book. These are the number of learning outcomes from each of these readings, chapters, as we call it in India. You have the second book, quants, and then the financial markets and valuation and risk models. And the subject has been then, just for your ease, it has been given LOS by LOS breakup of every chapter. So every chapter in these professional exams, global exams, what happens is, in order to avoid any confusion, we have the entire chapter divided into LOSs, into subparts. That is what is given over here. So this is just in case you need to refer, but otherwise I think the changes file and all is going to suffice.